Good day and welcome to the final episode of Corporate Access on technologies that enable the mining sector to meet the requirements of climate change and just transitioning. I'm Deval Rarmer. Globally, industries and governments are putting pressure on the mining sector to decarbonise and deal with the wider environmental challenges. For this to become a reality, the sector needs to implement smart technologies. Jonas Corelli, head of Bosch Mining Solutions for Africa, joins me for the final stretch of this series, and this time he's placing the microscope on smart lockout systems. Jonas, welcome back again.
Thank you, Deval.
From what I understand on this smart lockout system, it's to reduce travelling times for operators. But before we get there, could you elaborate what a smart lockout system is?
Yes. By the way, it's a good challenge to explain without the product itself, because this is a very specific procedure inside the mining operation. And we came to that solution because when we did the first journey in Latin America to understand the customer pains, we got in contact with one of the mines there in Chile with an electrician. And this electrician gave us the challenge to try to support them on the lockout process to make it a little bit faster, but of course keeping the same standard procedures. And this is the kind of process that the mines have been performed in the same way for decades or centuries. And basically, the current process to lock out asset to make the maintenance, the mining operation, they have to isolate the main power source. And normally the main power source sometimes or most of the times is far away from the asset to perform this maintenance. And then they have to place a physical padlock on this electrical panel inside the substation and travel with the key of this padlock to the maintenance crew, to the asset. When everybody sees that physical key, that they know that the isolation has been performed on that side. So every employer has a personal padlock. Sometimes it's written "My life depends on this padlock" because it's a very serious operation. And then they place this physical key in a metal box, and everybody puts their personal padlocks. And only when the last guy released that personal padlock, the key can go to the substation and switch on the power again. After some, I would say, UX user experience with this mine, and also going with other mines to understand if the process is the same, we came to a solution that's quite similar to what they do, since they are used to that, to not be so, I would say, disruptive, because then their adoption would be critical. And then we develop a device or a set of devices that under the same state machine, we teleport that physical key. So in other words, we place one device in the substation and another device on this asset to perform the maintenance. The same key from the isolation panel goes to this device on the substation, and after the safety procedures, the device on the field, on this asset, will release a key from inside of this device. So we joke that we teleport the key, but of course we have two different keys under the same state machine. So, and then when the crew on the maintenance side see the physical key getting out of this box, this is the physical proof that the isolation has been performed on the other side. And for some operations that need to replace a belt and a conveyor belt, sometimes they have to do this traveling process more than 20-30 times. So with this solution, the productivity is unbelievable increase, unbelievable. So it's really straightforward. You see the result on the first trial that you perform in a mine operation.
But it's also to optimize maintenance if the travel time is cut.
Absolutely, because if we the downtime, or if you look the downtime as the complete maintenance time, when you strongly reduce the downtime of the traveling, so the total maintenance cost of the maintenance downtime is reduced. So yes, automatically you see on your maintenance plan this cost reduction.
The idea behind this smart lockout system is to reduce or prevent injuries, personal injuries. Is that correct?
As well.
Could you elaborate how the system is designed to keep workers safe?
Yeah, and I think this is the main topic, because this is also the main journey that we have to go through with our customer, because the change management and change the lockout procedures is quite critical. And to do that, we have to do in a safe way. And more than just, I would say, speed up the lockout process, we increase the level of safety. How? First of all, the key that comes from the electrical panel will be stuck on this device. It cannot be opened. Only when you revert the process, so you cannot override the process. Secondly, you can confirm if the isolation has been correctly done with the control room, where they see which assets have been and panels have been switched off. And the third thing, we have a platform. In this case, we run inside the customer server. Every step performed by the electrician on the substation side and the maintenance leader on the maintenance side is registered in our software. So you know exactly when, who, where this isolation has been performed. So you don't just rely on paper or rely on physical things. We also have the platform supporting digitally this lockout procedure.
What are some of the main causes of injuries that you are trying to prevent here?
You know, and this I can touch also in one. I think for me the most important aspect of this is the human factor. If your procedure is so labor intense and demand hours and intensive hours to do this traveling, going up and down, it's natural that the humans try to override the process. And of course is where the danger stands, because a procedure you have to follow. Applying this solution, we can change the way they work, make their life easier, avoiding any process override. And by the way, recently we had the International Mental Health Day, and it's all about people. If people are doing some stressful job that can put them in dangers, of course the mental health will be also reached. I'm going a little bit far, because we are always talking about technology, productivity and so on, but we cannot forget the human factor on the procedures, on the process inside those operations. And that's why I think the lockout is not only straightforward in terms of productivity increase and downtime reduction, but also give more comfortable way to the foremen or to the electricians and people involved to work in a more safety environment.
Now, I'm getting a better picture here on this lockout system. I understand it's two different locations, so you need a good connectivity of infrastructure as well, correct?
Same, yes. In this case, you need the same production network that the mines have. So same. In this case, we can work. The solution can work via Ethernet cable. So also the same Ethernet cable, the infrastructure they use to track the production or to track the surveillance cameras, or if depending on the site, if there is Wi-Fi coverage, also can work via Wi-Fi, and even for remote locations, either we can use the GSM SIM card to operate this device, and there is also a possibility we did that in Chile, also a satellite communication, but this is a little bit specific for more, I would say, far locations where there's nothing, no connectivity at all. Yeah.
How resilient is this technology in the face of load shedding?
Same resilient as any asset inside the mine. So, and I would say a little bit more, because there's a battery inside. The battery also lasts at least 12 hours. Yeah. And the good thing is, since it's a state machine, as soon as you do the lockout the procedure, you can switch off the devices and save battery. When you're done with your maintenance, you switch on again, and you don't have any problem with load shedding. Even without power source, the state machine remains the same, and then the battery can make the device work normally.
Sounds like a good battery longevity operation going on.
Yeah.
Jonas, thank you once again for joining us and taking us through the journey of the different smart technologies available to help mining move into a cleaner operation. That was Jonas Corrali, head of Bosch Mining Solutions for Africa, and this brings us to the end of the series. Thank you to the audience for tuning in, and until next time, goodbye.